Kyle from allmediareviews.blogspot.com, and I'm here to talk about, briefly as possible, the new album from Vennart, or Mike Vennart, formerly of the band Oceansize, and in the last 4 or 5 years, really since Oceansize broke up or went on hiatus. He also formed a group called British Theater, but Mike Vennart, or Vennart, just released to the people that pledged to his the Pledge Music campaign for this debut album from Vennart called The Demon Joke. It just was released on Monday, May 25th, so it's been a little less than a week because it's now Sunday, May 31st, 2015. And this album, The Demon Joke, is going to be released also on Superball Music and I think Inside Out Music in America, but Superball Music in Europe on June 22nd. Not certain about the time frame on if the American or the North American releases that same June 22nd date. Anyway, and I should preface this to say that I will plan to do actually a more thorough video and or blog entry about Oceansize, which I've never really done, but I absolutely love Oceansize, and so that's not going to be in this video. And maybe I'll do something about British Theater also, but mainly Oceansize. So, but the thing about this debut album of Mike Vennart's, or Vennart, is it probably is the closest thing to Oceansize that's come out since Oceansize ended. I mean, British Theater is a little like Oceansize, but not. This is more so. This also includes not only Mike, who's the lead singer was the lead singer of Oceansize, but lead singer on this album and the main songwriter, but Durose, I want to say Mike Durose, I'm not sure what his first name, but he's on this from Oceansize, and Gambler, Richard Ingram also, who was, I think, one of the main lead guitar players. Again, I'm not certain about all these details, but that's from my memory. I remember reading about both those guys at least being involved in this album. Maybe contributing some of the parts, but this is still Mike Vennart's baby. And I can totally say that I am not disappointed in it. I'm very much enjoying it and getting more out of it the more I've listened to it in the last 5-6 days. Part of it could be timing because I'm run into a few things with my other half, my better half, in the last week and change. It's kind of a transitional time, so this album is sort of fitting some of the mood and emotions and feelings that I and my other half, significant other, are going through to a point, even though she'll probably never even listen to more than about 5 seconds of this album. But I can say that every track I enjoy. Many tracks are growing on me each time I hear them. It's not a real long record, although it's not that short. It looks kind of short. It's only 10 tracks, and each song is between about 3.5 and like 5 minutes and change. So it's about 42 minutes long. It's a little over 42 minutes, I just figured out. But as far as favorites go, the second track, Doubt, would be probably still my favorite song. It kind of, the second half, the last minute and a half, very much is like one of those sort of kind of psychedelic, ambient, almost very textured, layered moments that, that I love a lot of Oceansize music, and it reminds me of that. It also uses the phrase in like the continued phrase in the chorus, "divert crisis," which about, I don't know, it was 6 months ago, 9 months ago, when maybe it was almost a year ago, when Mike posted on his Tumblr page, I think it is, for his music, he mentioned in bold as a beginning, "divert crisis," so maybe that was sort of referencing or alluding to the track, one of the tracks on this record. Some people thought it might be the name of the album, but no, it's The Demon Joke. But Infatuate has a really strong hook, the outro especially. Operate also in a similar way. That was the song that he released a little over a year ago, but the new version it's different. It's a little different. It's more, there's more layers of guitars, and just a little stronger of a song. Await in the Hollow, I got the track list, of course, right here, but Await in the Hollow is another track that it's sort of not a ballad, but almost is a ballad in a sense, but reminds me of why I love Oceansize and love Mike's music so much. the sort of casual but the gradual build on that song. You almost don't expect it. I'd also say the same thing about the Joker. Don't forget the Joker. The outro on that gets a little heavy and a little kind of intense or emotional. That's the thing. I got the impression. I was listening to this past week and thinking it's great to finally hear Mike again. How much the sort of ending of Oceansize was not a downer, but it was a little disappointing. But I want to make sure everything's going okay with this recording. But yeah, it reminded me kind of how much, I missed hearing music from Mike, even though there's a lot of music in Oceansize's catalog in British theater. But I can sort of hear the emotion of the breakup of Oceansize and why it had to end. He's been playing with Biffy Clyro, so some of that may have influenced us too, but I think this is an album of kind of a communication of this is what I went through. It's hurt me to be away and not make music or not release music the last 4 years, 4+ years really. 2010 was the last Oceansize album. But this is my kind of return and to say hello in a way. But there's definitely a lot of emotion, a lot of not melancholy, but there's some dreaminess to it, which carries a little bit of sad emotion to it. So, but I would just say, going through the track list, the rest of it, Rebirth Marks another one, has a little electronic opening intro, which is a little different. You don't really hear that much from Oceansize in their past using that. So there's moments on this record, The Demon Joke, that you never heard in Oceansize. Which is great because obviously I think Mike's trying to sort of, make his own mark and Rebirth Mark, and sort of have his own distinction between that, which it does have to an extent. Let's see, Duke Fame, Retaliator, a little more riffy, a little darker, vocally and just sort of maybe lyrically. He mentions like an architect, and there's a couple other references which I don't even have access to. So now my timer's off. So that reminds me that I'm almost done. But I guess I'll say that I may make another video just about showing the vinyl, which maybe I'll add to some more observations and appreciation or just information about this record, The Demon Joke from Mike Vennart, or Vennart. That's gonna have to get used to that. Of course, the T-shirt says that, but as a whole, I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I thought 4 stars, and then the songs just started enjoying them more. I think it's a classic grower record. It may not be an album that everyone who even is an Oceansize fan is going to be in love with right away, but then they start to hear the songs a few more times, and they start to notice more things about them. And to me, it's like I'm hearing where Oceansize could have gone in a lot of ways. And so it almost feels like Oceansize is back. I don't know as far as Mike's future with Vennart, because he's playing with Biffy Clyro, and I think British Theater is still active. They've been playing shows actually as a double bill with Vennart. So, I mean, we're still waiting on a British Theater full length, but hopefully we can get more music under the Vennart name in the near future, whether it be a year or two from now or another 4 years, I don't know. But less is more on this record, emotional, psychedelic, and dreaminess, all wrapped into one in this record. And it's not, a lot of the songs are catchy, but I wouldn't call them not of his style exactly. It still has that sort of just layered, dense sort of, emotional journey with a lot of this music if you just kind of take it in. I mean, there's some singer-songwriter moments to a point, but hearing Mike Vennart sing that kind of music as opposed to sort of your folk artist is a little different. I hope more people check it out that don't know about it, Oceansize fans or non-Oceansize fans who maybe could become Oceansize fans. But I just think as a big Oceansize fan, I'm very happy to have this come out, and I just, I'll see where it is by the end of the year, but I actually would put it pretty high now. I just did my mid-season list a few weeks ago, and I wouldn't say it would be number one, but it would be in the fight for the next couple spots. And comparing to the Oceansize catalog, I would say it would compare. I don't know if I'd prefer it over stuff like Frames or Everyone's Position, but it sounds very refined, and a musician and an artist who definitely has learned what works for him well and improved sort of his compositional abilities for what he wants. You know, I mean, there aren't any epics on this record for the prog fans, but that doesn't mean it's not progressive, because there's a lot of tempo changes and, you know, odd time signatures or transitions and differences in textures and that kind of stuff. So it's enough babbling about Vennart the Demon Joke. I'm not going to quote the needle drop, but I just would ask if you've checked it out. What are your thoughts? How does it compare to Oceansize's music? Have you never heard it? Is it going to make you go back and check out Oceansize's music? Any of them? So it'd be great to hear. I'm glad to see also Stereo Gum and some other sites talking about it as well. Till next time, see you later.